Hallo und willkommen. Hello and welcome. I'm Susanne from Learn a German Word a Day. And today I thought we would go back to basics and take a look at some of the very first words most of us German kids or babies learn when we first learn to speak. And of course, I'm talking about things like mommy and daddy, and then we'll also take a look at what we call grandparents. So let's get started. We call our mother Mama, and our dad or daddy, Papa. So those are the equivalent words, Mama und Papa. And of course, those are the first words most of us German children speak. And then, of course, we also have grandparents. And grandma and grandpa we call Oma for grandma and Opa for grandpa. And of course, most of us have two sets of grandparents, so there's different ways. Different German families will sort of differentiate between the two sets of grandparents, similar to the way we do here in the States. So when I was growing up, we would use the word Oma und Opa, followed by that particular grandparent's first name. So Oma Eve, Oma Inge, Oma Anna, Oma Elisabeth, that type of thing. And then when we get to great-grandparents, those are called Uroma und Uropa. And I actually have a funny story there. When one of my cousins had his first child, they were telling him that our grandmother was the little girl's Uroma. Now, for this to make sense, I have to teach you another word that you may or may not know. That's the German word for a clock. It's called Uhr, U-H-R, whereas when we're talking about great-grandparents, the Uhr is spelled U-R. So she knew the word Uhr for clock, but this whole idea of a Uroma was new to her, and all she heard was clock Oma. So she called her tick-tock, like the sound that the clock makes. She called her tick-tock Oma. So that's been her nickname ever since. And of course, my grandmother loved it. And yeah, so that's just a little funny story to maybe help you remember what great-grandparents are called. So just to quickly recap, we talked about Mama and Daddy, Mama und Papa, and then we talked about Oma und Opa, those are the grandparents, and then Uroma und Uropa, the great-grandparents, or if you are my cousin's little daughter, or you just want to be funny, you call them Tick-Tock Oma and Tick-Tock Opa. So that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this short little video on what we call the people we love most in our lives around here, our parents and grandparents. And I hope you get a chance to play around with those words, use them. Maybe you have some German heritage and you always called your grandparents Oma and Opa and wondered where that came from, or maybe you already knew. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like and take a minute to subscribe. And of course, I would love a comment. So why don't you comment and tell me what you called your grandparents, or maybe you had a special name for your parents. I'd love to hear from you. And other than that, I'm busy planning a whole bunch of fun little short lessons and words for you for the rest of 2021. So come back often. Until then, let's call it a day und tschüss bis morgen.